Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of What If Naruto Became the Black Flash of Kumo. If you enjoyed the video, then like, share and subscribe, and also comment your thoughts as it inspires me to make more such videos, and remember to check out my playlist section for other interesting stories. So let's get started. Chapter 6, The Mission to the Mist. It was another normal day at Kumo. Civilians were going on about their daily lives, with ninjas coming in or leaving for missions. Suddenly on the gate, a figure with pure white hair was seen walking towards the gate. After arriving at the gate, the Shoyunin stopped the figure and asked, "Who are you and what is your purpose for visiting Kumagakure?" Mangitsu Huzuki. Purpose of visiting is to meet with the Reikage. Mangitsu answered. What do you want to talk about? Asked the Chunin. I am sorry, that is something I can only tell the Reikage. Mangitsu answered. Very well, we will have a few Anbu lead you to the office. However, remember, any funny business and we won't be responsible. The Shoyunin warned as he called the Anbu. That is agreeable, Mangitsu said as he followed the Anbu to the Reikage Tower. After a few minutes of walking, Mangitsu was sitting in the Reikage office as he sat across I, who had an impassive face on. So what can I do for the second coming of the devil? Asked I. Ah yes, you see, most of the remain G7 swords, men of the mist, have joined up with rebels in the bloodline purge. We would like to request help in the war, Mangitsu explained. That is all well and good, but what does Kumo get if it helps you in this war? I asked. We know that Kumo has a shortage of bloodlines. If and when we win the war, we will be willing to send over 3 different bloodlines over to you to start on. Along with that, we would also form an alliance with Kumo that would be cemented by a political marriage with any shinobi of your choosing, Mangitsu stated as I considered the offer before he nodded. Very well, Kumo will assist you. I will be sending 3 of our strongest jonin along with their genin teams, which are our strongest product in recent years, I said, to which Mangitsu nodded. I then called his secretary and said, Maebui, get me Team Dari, Team B and Team C. Maebui nodded before leaving the room and signaling the Anbu to get them. All 3 teams appeared in the room after 5 minutes. As soon as he entered, B said, what do you need us for, bro? The rebels of the mist have asked for our assistance in their civil war and I have agreed to help them. I want you 3 along with your genin teams to assist in the war. Make sure you win it, I said with a smirk. Everyone nodded before Dari said, alright people, start packing. We gather at the gate in 1 hour. The genin nodded before leaving. At his home, Naruto had informed Erina that he was leaving for a mission and expected her to behave and be good girl with Maebui until he came back. He promised her to bring her a few gifts. Erina, however, hugged him tightly and made him promise that he would come back alive. He promised that both he and Yujido would return and they would be a family again. An hour later, all 3 teams were ready and the whole group then left, with Mangitsu leading them to the rebel forces headquarters. It was a day of traveling, after which they finally made it to the lightning water border and crossed it. The next morning, after an hour of running, they came across a dense mist in which Naruto got lost. Damn, where did everyone go? Naruto thought as he tried to feel the chakra signatures of the Kumo group, but to no avail. Suddenly he heard the voices of a battle taking place. Rushing towards the sound, he found 3 mist nin attacking a solitary kunoichi who was losing the fight. Naruto was surprised when he saw the girl use not 1 but 2 bloodlines. The mist nin, however, using their numerical advantage, were pushing her back. Just as a critical strike was about to hit her, Naruto activated his lightning armor and in a flash was in front of the kunoichi. He unsealed his sword and in a single slash caused the attacking nin to back away. Who are you and what are you doing in the mist's territory? One of the nin asked. Had this saving my princess too much to ask? I will ask you to leave, mist nin, or I will kill you, Naruto warned as he threatening raised his sword. As if a kid like you can do something to us, one of the nin sneered. They then tried to move, but found themselves unable to. Looking at their feet, they found themselves to be held by shards of black crystal that were growing out of the water. Before they could react, Naruto was in front of them and in a single swipe he cut the head of all 3 mist nin. Naruto then turned to the girl. Now close to her he saw that she was around his age, and had auburn-colored hair. She wore a green shirt and had her hair made into a ribbon. Naruto blushed a bit as he saw her. She was definitely among the prettiest girl he had ever seen. "Who are you?" the girl asked. "Naruto Uzumaki from Kumo. Here on a mission to assist in the rebels in the Civil War. I was separated from my group and ended up here. Now mind me asking, who are you?" Naruto asked. The girl was no better as she too blushed when she saw Naruto's muscular frame replied. "My name is Mai Terumi, the sister of the leader of the rebels. I was returning from a mission when I was ambushed. Thank you for saving me. You could thank me by leading me back to headquarters. My team will be worried," Naruto said as Mai nodded before motioning Naruto to follow her. As then ran, Mai couldn't help but think about a few things. One was, how was an Uzumaki blonde? From what she knew, they were all crimson redheads. Two, if he was an Uzumaki, what was he doing in Kumo last? She knew was that Uzuya was destroyed by a combined effort from Kumo and Iwa. 3, why was he feeling so warm in his presence? He was the first person who hadn't made fun of her and actually blushed, even if just a little, by looking at her. So she decided to ask him. If you don't mind, can I ask you a few questions?" "Go right ahead, Haim," Naruto cheerfully replied. He was glad that he was required to go through the CRA. He could have girls without cheating on Yujido, as she would know of whoever was to be added. She had only allowed it after Naruto had informed the council that he would only marry if he loved the girl in question and she loved him in change. "Why are you blonde? I thought all Uzumakis were redheads," Mai asked. "Oh, that's pretty simple. My dad was a blonde. I think I got his genes more than my mom's." Databayo. Naruto answered before he face-palmed. He still hadn't been able to rid himself of his verbal tic. "Oh, that makes sense. Also, what are you doing at Kumo? Aren't Konoha and Uzumakis the ones in an alliance?" Mai asked. "Oh, I was from Konoha, but for some reason one day I was beaten to a pulp and thrown into a river. My sensei from Kumo found me in a near-death state before he carried me back and I joined Kumo." "Anything else?" Naruto asked. "No, that's all," Mai replied before they soon reached the gates of a large camp. At the gates the guards soon recognized Mai and asked Mai, "Where were you?" "Mai-sama has been worried. I am sorry, I was attacked by trash and nearly killed. Thankfully he was there to save me," Mai said as pointed at Naruto. "Now excuse us, we need to go see Nissan," Mai said. She then took his hand and pulled him along with her. Soon they reached the biggest tent where it seemed like a meeting was going on. Mai and Naruto entered and found that Mai was indeed in a meeting with the rest of the Kumo group. "Hey Nissan," Mai said as Mai smiled at her. Naruto on the other hand was glimpsed up by Yujido, who worriedly asked, "Where were you? You aren't hurt, right?" Naruto chuckled before tapping her nose and saying, "I am fine, just got a little strayed before I rescued Mai over there from 3 Mist Nin before she guided me here." "I see, I would like to thank you for that, Naruto-san," Mai said. "Oh, it's of no consequence, Mai-sama. I was merely doing what any honorable person would have done." "But I need to ask, what will be our battle plan against the Mizukage?" asked Naruto. "Why, yes. The current Mizukage had a total of 19 fortresses. After fighting the last couple of years we have managed to capture 9 of them. But recently security around them has tightened many-fold, which has made it impossible for us to capture more of them, which is why we called for your help," Mai explained. "Naruto, what do you think we should do?" Darui curiously asked. Everyone knew how big of a prodigy Naruto was and were curious to see what his genius would do to win the war. If my plan is successful, then we should have control over 7 or 8 more fortresses by the end of this month," Naruto said after he thought for a few minutes. "Oh, I think you are underestimating us if you think we haven't tried anything," Mai said in an irritated voice. Naruto smirked and asked, "Do you have a seal master here?" Mai shook her head, not knowing where it was going. "Do you know of the jutsu called the shadow clones?" Naruto asked, his smirk growing sliggily. Again Mai shook her head and sighed. "Well, that is what we are going to do. I am a seal master and know the shadow clones. The plan is simple. My clone will infiltrate a fortress plant, Explosive seals of my personal creation. This will disable the defense of the fortress, giving us a chance to attack and take over. It will take me a while to get the seals ready, but after they are done, it should all be game. Naruto explained. The Jonin, both the rebels and Kumo Senseus, nodded in agreement. It was a very good plan. Mai then spoke up and asked what happens if the Yagura appears? He has the Sanbi within him as well. Don't worry bro, if 3-0 comes out I 8-0 will tear him down yo. B rapped as he moved his hands in a freaking manner. The Kumo nin all sighed in exasperation while the rebel nin were all blinking. We are sorry, he is always like that, Darui said. After that all the genin left to roam the camp. Naruto went off on his own to try and train for a new move. He could proficiently use the lightning armor, but felt that it was now time to send it up to the next level. Hey guys, I am gonna go off on my own. I will see you guys tonight, don't follow me, he said before jumping off. As he left, Yujido sighed and Atsui cursed. Seeing this, Mai asked, "What's the matter?" It's Naruto, he is about to do something extremely cool but foolishly dangerous. Samyuam swore in monotone. Oh, should we spy on him then? Mai asked in a curious voice. It won't work since he is a censor. And 2, he will tell us what it is later on, so it's no point trying to find it out. One of the genin, Alexa from CS team, answered. So tell me about Naruto, what kind of guy is he? Asked Mai. Why do you want to know? Yujido asked with narrowed eyes. Well, he did save my life and I may be attracted to him. So I wanted to know about him. Mai answered. Back off, girlfriend, Naruto-kun is mine, nearly every female Kumo genin said at the same time. I don't think so. According to him, he is the last member of the Uzumaki clan, so that automatically puts him in a CRA. He will have to take several wives to restore his clan. Mai said with a smirk as the remaining Kumo genin grumbled, knowing she was right. With Naruto stood alone in a clearing. He took a deep breath in before activating his lightning armor. After calming himself into the armor, he began channeling his black lightning. Soon his usual calm blue in the armor was replaced by a frantic black. He then put all of his focus into maintaining the black lightning armor for as long as he could. Just when he was about to lose control, he decided to give a speed check and rushed forward to hit a tree. It was over in a flash of black. The tree was in 2 pieces and Naruto was standing behind it, breathing heavily. He grinned to himself. He knew one thing, the black lightning armor was very much possible. All he needed was to get the next exercise of black lightning manipulation down. He then crossed his fingers and created 300 clones. He said to them, alright guys, let's do this. 250 of you on black lightning manipulation. 50 of you onto the seals we will need in 1 month. The clones nodded before setting off to work. From afar, Darui and B were watching the blonde maelstrom with wide eyes. He really is a genius. To be able to create and maintain a black lightning armor, even if just for a few minutes, is nothing short of amazing. Isn't it? B asked, his voice unnaturally serious for once. I agree. He will make an amazing Raikage one day. If he manages to master the black lightning armor by the end of this mission, he will be known around the elemental nations as the Black Flash of Kumo. Darui replied. Aren't you going to give him advice on the third and arguable the hardest step in black lightning manipulation? B asked. No, he is already going way too fast. Using those clones he will be done by the end of the month. Aren't you going to give him any more chakra to increase the number of clones he can produce? Darui asked back. No, I want him to learn to be self-dependent but willing to accept help when the situation requires it. It's my part in the upbringing of our upcoming Raikage. B answered with a grin. That is an important quality, Darui said as he nodded his head in agreement. Both of them then fell silent as they watched Naruto up his resistance seals to level 5. He then struggled to move around the clearing. Both Darui and B had only one thought at that moment. Why do you try so hard, Naruto? Kids your age don't put their bodies on the line like you do. Unbeknownst to them, after the encounter with his family, his resolve to grow stronger had flared up again. There was no way in hell he would forgive them, or let them use him again. Chapter 7, Mission Over. Naruto was panting in the clearing he was using to train. Currently was extremely pissed considering the fact that there was yet another Konoha team here. It seems Zabuza had convinced the Yondaime to send a team from Konoha TP help in the exchange of a few silent killing techniques. The reason Naruto was pissed was because the Jonin that Konoha sent was Might, guy who constantly shouted that it was unyouthful of Naruto to stay away from home. Naruto, because of mission grounds, let his senseis handle any diplomatic matters while he trained and created the seals they would need. He suddenly straightened up as he felt a presence behind him and said, "Come on out, I know you are there." As he finished, Neji Hyuga, a genin from the Konoha team, stepped into the clearing with a sneer plastered on his face. Seeing him, Naruto sighed a bit. Neji had been trying to get under his skin ever since they met. Naruto, however, kept his control in check as he had no intention of endangering the mission. "So what do you want, Hyuga? You will talk to me with respect, Kumo nin." Neji snarled, but Naruto had enough. "I've got no reason to. I am stronger than you and have way more respect than you do. So back off and don't endanger my mission. Or else," Naruto stated in a cold voice. "Or else what, you'll take my eyes to Kumo? Please, the branch seal will destroy them before you get the chance." Neji scoffed but soon turned slightly fearful when he saw Naruto smile. "In case you forgot, Hyuga, I am a level 10 seals master in Uzumaki seal arts. And your seal is a deviant from an Uzumaki seal. It will take me 5 minutes to remove it and take your eyes. So don't tempt me," Naruto said. Neji slightly backed away before he turned and left the clearing. Naruto then shined away for the final meeting between the rebels before they put his plan into action. His seals were ready and now the only thing left was execution. Entering the meeting hall, he moved in and sat down with the rest of the Kumo contingent and waited for the others to appear. Soon the main rebel leaders appeared along with the Konoha team, and the meeting began. "So everything is ready, I presume?" Mei asked. "It is. My clones are planting the seals as we speak. We should be able to attack tomorrow night," Naruto answered. "So me, Zabuza and Manchitsu will be leading our personal groups to 3 different fortresses. One will be taken by Konoha, and what about you guys?" asked Mei. "We will be taking 4 of them. I will be taking 1 solo, so don't worry about manpower," Naruto calmly said. The Kumo contingent sighed. They knew Naruto was going to go through his very cool but foolish routine and knew they couldn't stop him. Mei looked the Kumo Jonin, who merely nodded in response. The plan was set and now they were going to go on a full frontal assault. The next day, all the groups were ready and had left. Just as Naruto was about to leave, he was stopped by Mai and Haku, 2 girls he had grown considerably close to over the last month. He did find them attractive, and he wouldn't mind bringing the 2 of them into his life. What stopped him was that he didn't want to force himself on them. It was a bonus that Yujido liked the duo. "What's wrong, Mai-chan, Haku-chan?" Naruto said as he saw them. Both of them looked at each other before Mai stepped forward and kissed Naruto square on the lips, leaving Naruto stunned. His confusion only grew when Haku stepped forward and did the same. Naruto stood there stunned as Haku and Mai chuckled at his frozen expression. "What was that all about?" Naruto asked with a dumbfounded expression. "Well, Naruto-kun, truth be told, both of us fell for you. You are sweet, caring, not a pervert, strong and honorable. You actually won us over. We already have talked to Yujido and she doesn't mind if we join your CRA," Mai said with a blush as Haku nodded with her cheeks painted pink. "Wow, I am one lucky bastard. I guess you guys came here to tell me to be careful, right? If yes, don't worry, I wouldn't keep my Nikoheim, Hyoheim, and Yoheim waiting. See you on the other side," Naruto said as he activated his lightning armor and flashed away. As soon as Naruto reached position, he spoke through a radio and said, "Black Crystal in position, over." A few minutes later he received the following signals. "Octopops in position." B said. "Dull Life in position." Darui said. "Rhyme in position." C said. "Lava in position." Mei said. "Dissolving White Head in position." "I am going to kill you, brat." Mangetsu said. "Cowman in position." "Kid, prepare for torture." Zabuza growled out. "Team Youth in position." Let us get this youthful mission underway. Alright then, the mission is a go. Fuinkai, as soon as Naruto said that, at once 8 different fortresses had their defenses broken and all of the rebel forces charged in at once to take over the fortress. There was no specific difficulty for them to overthrow the hold the Mizukage held in these fortresses. The element of surprise, along with the sheer firepower of the allies, was enough to beat and capture the people guarding the fortresses. Some of the people who escaped all ran away to the remaining 2 fortresses. However, there was one fortress where not even a single mist nin had survived. It was the fortress that Naruto had invaded. The only thing the civilians who had been living inside could see was a black blur that was slicing down on the mist nin, leaving no one alive. Mei had then sent some of her strongest operatives along with a decent number of ninjas to re-establish order in those fortresses. Naruto had immediately rushed into action by creating brand new barrier seals that replaced the old weak ones into near impenetrable ones. Something that Mei was very thankful for. His seals had ensured that, even a cage-level shinobi couldn't break them unless they were adept at Uzumaki sealing arts. A week after the takeover, everyone except Naruto was seated in the meeting room to discuss what was to happen next until a chunin bursted into the room and shouted, "Mei-sama, Yagura and his army are here. They've got the village surrounded. Naruto-san has been pushing the army back, but he needs backup." The Kumo contingent along with Mei Manchitsu and Zabuza rushed to Naruto's aid. They were surprised when they found a panting Naruto holding his white blade. He was surrounded by a layer of black lightning, something that caused nearly everyone's eyes to pop out. Specifically Darui and B. They looked around and saw that Naruto was surrounded by bodies and he was facing a scowling Yagura. Feeling the familiar signatures behind him, he said, "Mai-chan, throw me a soldier pill while the rest of you go and take out the other nin that are attacking. I will take care of Yagura." Everyone hesitated before following the blonde's instructions. He had completely ignored the rank and had rescued a large number of people by keeping the opposers out. "So shall we continue, Mizukage-san?" asked Naruto as he pointed his sword at Yagura. "You think you can beat me, brat?" Yagura growled at the reason he had almost lost the war. "No, I know I can. All I need is one hit on you and you lose. It doesn't even have to be lethal hit, a mere tap will be enough," Naruto said as he felt his chakra coming back to him courtesy of a food pill. "Oh, and how do you intend to do that?" Yagura said as he released his three-tailed state and got ready to fight. "How about I show you?" Naruto said as he flared his black lightning armor. Both the nins rushed at each other, Naruto using his speed and superior kanjutsu skills while Yagura used his natural water affinity along with his biju to counter it. This continued for a few moments, after which Naruto was pushed back. However, Yagura soon spotted the smirk on Naruto's face and asked, "What are you smiling about, kid? I am about to kill you, you know this." Fuin. Naruto finished with a ram sign and suddenly Yagura felt the gravity on the area increase by tenfold. He wasn't able to move and was now kneeling on the ground as Naruto casually walked up to him before slamming 2 Jogo Fuins on his biju seal. As soon as he applied the first one, Yagura felt the Sanbis chakra leaving him. The second one completely took away the feeling of having the beast in him. Naruto then noticed a glazed look in Yagura's eyes and was about to kill him when Yagura said, "Wait, what happened? Where am I? Who was that red-eyed man?" Naruto narrowed his eyes at that and instead of killing Yagura, he knocked him out, so that Mei could do a little more research on the case. He then applied a suppression seal on Yagura before releasing his gravity seal. He then released his black lightning armor and turned to walk away only to fell unconscious at his second step. The only thing he remembered was seeing the worried faces of Haku and Mai. Both of them immediately rushed to the hospital, letting the rest of the guards take care of Yagura's body. And finally, after a very long struggle, the Civil War of the Mist had been finally put to the close, with the Bloodline rebels coming out on top. Naruto had suffered a severe case of chakra exhaustion and was hence resting. He had yet to wake up. The Konoha team had already collected their payment and had left, while the Kumo contingent stayed to discuss the terms of the treaty. It was decided that Suijutsu, Haku and Mai would be the 3 sent to Kumo. It was mainly due to the fact that a political marriage between Naruto and the 2 girls had been fixed and that Manchitsu wanted his brother to find his own path in life. The treaty was signed and everyone was happy. The only thing left was for Naruto to wake up. Midway to the fourth day, he groaned before waking up. Immediately he heard 3 sets of footsteps and 3 different shouts of Naruto-kun. He was glimpsed by 3 different hugs. Barely opening his eyes he saw Yujido, Mai and Haku hugging him like their lives depended on it. Naruto then weakly returned the hug. His reserve was nowhere near full, and it would take a couple of days for him to get in traveling condition. "So girls, how you doing?" he said, trying to start up a conversation. "You baka, do you how worried we were?" Yujido sobbed as she hugged him. "You idiot, what were you thinking when you decided to take on a whole army on your own?" Mai sobbed into his chest. "Did you even consider what would have happened to us if something happened to you?" Haku whimpered. Naruto sighed before he shifted a little and brought all 3 of the girls into a tighter hug. He held them all close before softly whispering, only loud enough for them to hear. "I am really sorry. I didn't want to make you worried. The only thing in my mind was that I had to ensure your safety and keep you guys safe from the upcoming army. And nope, I can't die, not before I become the Raikage. You blonde baka," all 3 girls said at once as he chuckled. "Now then, what happened while I was asleep?" asked Naruto. "Oh, the war is over," Mai said. "Treaty has been agreed and signed," Yujido added. "We are going to Kumo as soon as you are healthy," Haku said. "What do you mean we?" asked Naruto. "Oh, Mai and Haku were a part of the political marriage set up for you to signify the treaty. Suijutsu-kun and Samyoi are engaged as well," Yujido explained as Naruto let out a shocked whistle. "Wow, that was nice. So you girls are okay with this?" asked Naruto. "Why wouldn't we be? We are friends and all 3 of us wholeheartedly love you and you love us. You are already under CRA, so it isn't much of a problem," Mai said with a shrug. "Okay then, let's get going," Naruto said as he stood up and was about to leave when Mai, Haku and Yujido pushed him back on TB bed. Sighing, he nodded before rolling off to sleep. Chapter 8, Preparations. The group had just finished the mission and were back in Kumo. Naruto was exhausted. The use of the black lightning armor was taxing. He estimated that it would be around a couple of days before he could train again. He was too busy in his thoughts to notice that the Jonins were all frowning because of what the gate guards had told them. He then turned to all the genin and said, "You guys head home and rest. Suijutsu, you should go with my team to rest. Mai, Haku, go with Naruto and Yujido. Your Senseus and I will handle the mission report." Naruto narrowed his eyes but complied nonetheless. Everyone then went home accordingly. Naruto for one was very excited to see Erina again. He hoped that she wouldn't get worried because of his injuries. Though he did wonder why he had become so serious. It was unlike that happy-go-lucky rapping hippie to take things seriously. "With the Senseus? It's good we stopped at the gates. If not, it would have created a troublesome situation," Darui said in monotone as the 3 Jonin made way to the Raikage's office. "I know what you mean. I knew they would come for negotiations, but to think they would send the 3 of them to come. I think it would be best if B went over to Naruto's place," C said, making both B and Darui nod. B then disappeared while Darui and C made way to the meeting to back I up. After all, it was very rare for the Densetsu no Sannin to be seen together in one place in the current times. Entering the office, they saw the Sannin sitting across I as they talked. "Boss, we are back," Darui said. "Ah, nice of you to join us. I did inform the gate guards to call you here. Now let's restart the meeting," I said. "Ah, yes please. We are here on the behalf of the Yondaime Hokage to negotiate a peace treaty with you," Tsunade said. "And what makes you think that we want this treaty?" I asked. "It will act as a major war deterrent to our enemies if they see 2 of the strongest shinobi villages allying together," Orochimaru stated. "That is a valid argument, and considering your alliance with Suna and ours with Kiri, it would create a strong force." "What are the terms?" asked I. "Both villages will be sharing jutsus. Bloodlines will not be involved. Konoha will provide its medical services while Kumo will assist us if any war breaks out. Finally, the last thing that Konoha demands is the return of Naruto Namikaze. Jiraiya said as he looked at the wreckage and waited for a response. With Naruto and the girls made way to their home and entered. He was soon barreled onto the ground by an excited Erina who shouted to San, "I missed you." Naruto felt a little pain but didn't flinch and hugged Erina back and said, "I missed you too, Eri-chan. Were you good while I was away?" I good. She answered giddily. Naruto then stood up and kissed her on the forehead before carrying her into the lounge. As he left, Haku and Mai looked over at Yujido and asked, "Did she really call him Tao-san?" Yup. Naruto adopted her during the mission to the wave. He sees her like she was his own child, and loves her very much. He also always makes time for her. Yujido answered. Both Haku and Mai smiled at the answer. Naruto was perfect after all. Back with the cages. "I am sorry, we won't accept this treaty," I stated in a matter-of-fact tone. "May we know why?" asked Tsunade. "Mainly because you are asking me to return a poor boy to a hellhole. And that is ignoring the fact that he is my most promising genin," I stated. "That promising genin belongs to Konoha, his home," Orochimaru stated. "This is so dull. I will not allow him to go back. He still has scars from all the beatings he endured in the place you call home. Heck, it took him 2 years before he finally started sleeping without nightmares. What makes you think Wei Wei will send him back there?" Darui said in an uncharacteristically serious voice. This information caught the Sannin off guard. If Naruto really was that affected, it would be near impossible to get him back. However, before Orochimaru could answer, Jiraiya said the village has changed. They have realized their mistakes and are willing to make amends. Pretty early for them to realize, don't you think? Naruto has already accepted Kumo as his village. He has a family here and is loved by everyone. He is one of our most important ninjas and will be the wreckage when boss steps down. He will not be returned," C said, causing Jiraiya to seethe. "How about we ask Naruto what he wants?" Orochimaru asked. "Will you go back if he decides to stay here?" asked I. "We will, but will you let him go if he decides to leave?" asked Tsunade. "Of course he may know most of my moves, but I know he won't betray me by selling them out," I said before he turned to Darui and asked him to get Naruto. Darui nodded before shining away. At Naruto's place, Naruto was playing with Erina as the girls were getting used to their home. It was then that the door was knocked. Picking Erina up, he made his way to the door and opened it, revealing B and Darui. Both were wearing the battle-hardened looks that earned them the titles of Kumo's Gordian and Kumo's Black Death. "What's the matter, B-Ni-san, Darui-sensei?" asked Naruto. "It's Konoha," Darui said. "Wait one moment," Naruto said as he went back into his house and gave Erina to Yujido. He told them that he was summoned by the wreckage and would be back soon. The girls nodded before bidding him goodbye. Naruto then turned on his shinobi mode. It was the mode he had developed after his first kill. In it, he turned off all of his emotions, leaving behind a battle-ready warrior. Exiting the door, he turned to his teacher and older brother figure and asked, "What's the matter?" "Konoha sent the Densetsu no Sannin to negotiate a peace treaty. They want to take you back." Naturally, boss disagreed. "Currently all of them are waiting in the room to see what you want to do," Darui answered. "Those bastards." Naruto seethed. "Fine, I will tell them exactly what I want. Let's go then," Naruto said as the three started walking towards the wreckage's office. The office. As he entered, Naruto went up and hugged I and said, "What can I do for you, Oji-sensei?" I chuckled good-naturedly and said, "Naruto, these people would like to talk with you." Naruto then turned to the Sannin before he hardened his gaze and said, "What can I do for Densetsu no Sannin? As far as I am concerned, I can't think of anything I can help you with. Orochimaru is the ninjutsu expert and has more jutsus than me. Jiraiya is a seals master like me, and I have no talent in medical ninjutsu. So what do you want?" Jiraiya frowned a little before he smiled and said, Now Naruto, that isn't a way to talk to your godparents. Who the hell made you my godparents? As far as I am concerned, Maebui Kaken didn't name anyone to be my godparent." Naruto snarled. What do you mean your father and mother back in Konoha named us as your godparents? And we are here to take you back. Don't you want to come back to your family? We will even give you a couple of good marriage contracts with the Ukas and Hyugas. Jiraiya said. Not interested. I already have girlfriends and I am not interested in what you offer me. You can take your offers and leave. I made Kumo my home and no thing is going to change that. Naruto hotly said. Enraged that the man thought he could be bribed into returning. Well, I guess that answers that. Naruto will not be going to Konoha. So you can take the offer for peace treaty and throw it out the window. Also you may leave as the negotiations are closed. I said. Wait Naruto, don't you want to join the Uzumaki clan in Konoha? Don't you know it was Kumo who killed the majority of the clan in Uzumaki? Tsunade asked, trying the emotional approach to get Naruto to leave with them. In that order then. The Uzumaki clan in Konoha is fake. Since I am the firstborn of the last heir, it automatically makes me the next head. I have already undertaken the right to clan head when I visited Uzuyo for sealing materials. And 2, it was time of war, and IOG wasn't in charge, so them wiping out Uzuyo doesn't affect my judgment. Naruto calmly answered. The 3 Sannin looked on in disbelief before Jiraiya pointed a finger at Ai and said, you must have had a seal on him. As soon as he finished, all 5 of the Kumo nin burst into laughter, much to the confusion of the Sannin. Naruto was the first one to recover. He looked at the Sannin and said, I am a level 10 Uzumaki-style sealing master. My skill in seals matches the skill of the Yellow Flash and the Benaim. I am pretty sure I can dispel any seal placed on me. Now then, if that is all, you may leave. The 3 Sannin grumbled before they left. As they left, I turned to Naruto and said, you do know that they will be back for more, right? I am sure they will. However, nothing they do will change my view. They have done enough to screw my life already. Naruto answered as the room went quiet, too quiet for Naruto's liking. What? He asked, getting a little annoyed. You do know that you rapped and it was better than B. I stated. Damn, I didn't notice. Naruto said as he left a frozen B in the room. Soon B unfrozen ran after Naruto, shouting about a new comrade in the art of rapping. I sighed, knowing how troublesome things were about to come. He had to also consider the new nins and promotions specifically for Naruto. After all, not many genin can beat a cage. The next day. Alright then, my Haku and Suijutsu, you will be the brand new Team 12 with Shiyuki being your sensei. I wish the 3 of you good luck. I said to the 3 new genin in front of him. The 3 of them nodded before bowing out and leaving the room. I then turned to Naruto and said, I want to promote you TP Shayunin. Specifically after your laurels in the mist, you are being called the Black Flash of Kumo. Any reason for that title? Well, I may have or may not have created the Black Lightning version of the lightning armor. Naruto answered as he scratched his cheek. I blinked once, blinked twice, blinked thrice before he calmly said, training ground 6 in 1 hour. No exception. Naruto shivered as I only used that tone when the training was going to be more brutal than having to listen to be rapping. He sighed before he left to get ready for a torture session. In Konoha. The Densetsu no Sannin had just arrived back in the village and were making way to Minato's office in the Hokage's tower to deliver their reports. As they entered the room, they saw Hiruzen, Minato, Kushina along with the 3 elders in the room. Welcome back, how did it go? Minato asked. Can the elders leave for this, as it is a personal family matter? Jiraiya said as he looked at Minato. The elders were about to object when Hiruzen cut in and said in the voice that made him the shinobi no kami back in his day. It would be good for you to leave. The topic in discussion has nothing to do with village security. The elders grumbled but nodded nonetheless. Tsunade then said the Anbu as well. Minato sighed before he signaled the 4 Anbu in the room to leave. As they left, Rakamaru turned to the wall and stabbed it with a kunai, bringing out a dead Anbu with a knee mask. It seems Danzo is getting a little bolder, don't you think? Hiruzen asked around the room as Kushina clasped her hands together and activated the privacy seals in the room. It seems that way. Now what did they say, is Naruto coming back? Asked Minato. He isn't. He has no love or attachment to the Konoha. We offered him marriage contracts with both the Uchiha and the Hyuga, and he turned us down. It seems that we truly have pushed him farther than anything thought possible. Orochimaru explained. Did you tell him about us? Kushina asked, desperation in her voice evident. We did. He however stated that he has no family whatsoever in Konoha. Tsunade said in a sad voice. But wouldn't he want to come back here? I mean, his parents, siblings, everyone is here. Minato asked. It's because of the complete extent of what happened to him. His sensei told us that he had nightmares about the torture he was subjected to at Konoha. Even now he still has the scars from those days. Jiraiya said with a sad sigh. As he finished talking, the room went silent as they took in what the Sannin had told him. Minato was raking his brain trying to find a way to have Naruto forgive them and return to Konoha. He decided to back up for now and focus on securing a deal with Kumo when the Shoyunin exams came around. His thought process was cut off when Hiruzen spoke and said, I think we should back up from trying to bring him back. His health may be of issue if he is forced. I think it would be best to have him as an envoy. Also, before you make another parental mistake, I suggest you apologize to him. Oh, that is a good idea on the envoys. I guess I will talk to I personally when the Shoyunin exams come around. Minato exclaimed. Hiruzen just lightly shook his head with a small frown. The path he is walking on will more or less likely destroy any chance of a comeback for Naruto. It seems that I will have to help in the upcoming negotiations. Back in Kumo, Naruto was laying on the ground panting heavily as he glared at the amused eye standing over him. That was a very nice move, Naruto. However, its toll on your body is something that we need to work on. I think I also need to improve my chakra control and black lightning manipulation. It takes a lot of focus to use. I will lose against an opponent who is ready for the pace. Naruto said. He sat up, but kept on panting. That's right, and a good assessment. It's because of that we will be upping your gravity seals by 3 times. You won't be going on missions for the month. I will be once again training you personally. I said as Naruto gaped at him a little. Why the month, sensei? Asked Naruto. Because of the upcoming Shoyunin exams in Konoha. I answered as he left his answer hanging around in the air. Chapter 9, Prelude Shoyunin Exams. But Jiji, you said you were going to promote me to Shoyunin because of my performance on missions. Naruto said as he desperately tried to find a loophole. I was, but then I decided against it. The Shoyunin exams are a country's display of strength, and you are our strongest genin. I said. Oh, Gigi, how about this? I take the next Shoyunin exams and not the upcoming ones. Naruto argued. Not going to happen. Konoha holds the #1 position in the Hidden Village ranking. While we are very similar in terms of power, they hold the position because of winning 3 consecutive shinobi wars. Displaying our strength over there will send a major message. I explained. But Gigi. Naruto whined. No buts, young man. How about this? If you kick ass in the exams, I spend a week with you creating new shot-on moves. I said with a hidden smirk. He knew Naruto loved experimentation and learning. He'd jump at this chance. Awesome, you got it. I'll kick ass so bad that no one will know what hit them. Naruto said as he jumped a little, chuckled a little before ruffling Naruto's hair and sending him off to his home with instructions to come back here tomorrow for a thorough training session. I returned to the office where he drew up the paper work he needed to send to Konoha regarding the teams that entered the Fire Country. The next day at Konoha, Minato sighed as he looked at his daughter's team. They were once again here asking for a C-rank mission. However, before he could answer, then a Shoyunin walked in and said, Hokage-sama, there is a letter from the Raikage and Kumo. Give it to me. Minato said urgently. He opened the letter and after reading it he gave out a small smile. What's in the letter to San? Yui asked after seeing Minato's smile. Oh, it's just a notice from the Raikage regarding the teams they will be sending. Your brother is among the genin being sent by Kumo. Minato answered. That means we will have a chance to talk and convince him to come back. Databan. Kushina happily said. The other members of the team coughed, getting the topic back on hand. Soon they got the mission to go to Sunagakure to hand over a document that was set in to improve the trade between the two villages. In Kumo, the trio from the Mist Village were hard at work. Their Jonin sensei was one who had techniques from all of the elements, making him the ideal sensei for them. All three of them were furthering their manipulation and control for their elements, along with bolstering their arsenal while strengthening their current techniques. Team B, being the Kenjutsu specialists, were working to get to the next level in sword arts. They were hoping to get at least 4 new moves mastered in time for the Shoyunin exams. Meanwhile, with Team 9, Darui was working with both Yujido and Atsui, increasing their arsenal with jutsu while helping them also improve their taijutsu and kenjutsu styles. Naruto meanwhile was being put through his paces by Ai. He was mainly focusing on his chakra control, manipulation, and physical strength. He would definitely increase his control over his black lightning armor by the time for the Shoyunin exams. Time skip 1 month. Alright, you guys are among Kumo's elite genin teams. I have utmost faith in your fighting powers. Go and prove the might of Kumo in these exams, I said as he stood at the gate and addressed the 4 genin teams in front of him. You betcha, Gigi, we will make you proud. Naruto, who was wearing a Kakashi-like mask, said loudly as the other genin nodded. I chuckled as he then watched the teams run off to Konoha. His face then turned a little serious. He had not sent Naruto and his team without security. He had sent a strongly worded letter to Minato that if anything, and he meant anything, happened to Naruto or any other genin, which was not remotely related to the exams, it would mean an all-out war. Minato obviously did assure him nothing would happen and even invited him for peace talks during the exams. I knew he would need to address the issue soon, as even his own council, despite being suck-ups to Naruto, wanted a treaty to go through. After all, a treaty between 4 great villages would unnerve about everyone. 4 days later, Konaka's gates. Who goes there? Asked a Shoyunin gate guard at Konaka's gates. Kairabi from Kumo, leading the delegation of genins taking part in the Shoyunin exams. B said, Alright then, I want all of you to sign in before reporting in the Hokage's office. The Shoyunin said, to which B nodded before everyone signed in their names. The gate guards blinked when they saw Naruto's name and blinked. However, he couldn't see Naruto's face due to his mask and hence couldn't confirm anything. Making their way to the Hokage building, B walked up to the secretary and said, Yo, we here for the Shoyunin exams, yo. A Kumo group sighed tiredly while the secretary blinked in confusion. Darui went up before explaining the whole situation, after which the secretary stood up and led them to the Hokage's office. Inside the office, B said, Yo Minato, it's good to see yo bro. B, it's been a while. I presume you are here for the Shoyunin exams? Asked Minato as he studied the group of Kumo genin before his eyes fell onto Naruto. He stared at him for a few moments before he turned back to B, who nodded at his initial question. Very well then, please go to the Golden Leaf Hotel. We have arrangements ready. However, would it be possible for me to speak with Naruto for a moment? Minato asked. B and the other jonin nodded and left the room, ignoring the looks of incredulity that Naruto was sending their way. Naruto in the end sighed, since he knew that there was no way out of the situation. Hence he began schooling his emotions. He needed to keep his anger in check and not cause any political incident that Konoha could use as a leverage against Kumo. What do you require of me, Hokage Dono? Naruto asked in a stoic monotone. Minato sadly sighed. The tone his own son had used was a completely professional one. He would have to tread very carefully. I just wanted to see how you were doing. And since when did a father need a reason to speak to his own son? Naruto grit his teeth in anger and at the mere guts of the man in front of him. He took a deep breath before saying, Forgive me, Hokage Dono, but I do not have a father. I was abandoned a long time ago after all. And as for how I am doing very, very well, thank you. Now is that all? One more question, would you like to have lunch with us? Asked Minato. I will have to decline, Hokage Dono, since I am in no way related to you and have team that is more than likely waiting for me to arrive. Good day. Naruto said as he stood up and left the room. Minato found himself unconsciously raising his arm in an attempt to stop Naruto, but Naruto himself had already walked out the door, gently closing it behind him. He lightly closed his fist and brought his hand back down, letting a solitary tear escape his eyes. Because of his folly and blatant favoritism, his son was now gone, and it seemed that no amount of work would bring back the trust that he once had towards his family. Sighing, he knew that the only thing he could do now was to find a way to enter a peace treaty with Kumo and maybe convince Ai to talk to Naruto about at least easing up to the idea of opening up to his blood family. With Naruto briskly walked out of the building before breathing in a heavy sigh of relief. The talk had gone better than he could have hoped for it to go. Now all he had to do was find the Golden Leaf Hotel and reunite himself with his teammates and friends. As he walked, however, an important realization struck him. He had no idea where the hell the Golden Leaf Hotel was. As he walked with his hands in his pocket, he spotted Sayuri Uchiha walking out of a shop with a few bags. Remembering the conversation he had with her and the fact that she was one person in the village whose presence Naruto walked up to her and said, "It's been a while, hasn't it, Kunoichi-san?" Sayuri jumped before looking back and spotted Naruto, who was giving her an eye smile that her sensei would be proud of. In the beginning, however, she did not recognize Naruto his mask, but soon after, looking at the blonde hair and diamond blue eyes. "Naruto-san?" she asked in an uncertain voice. "Got it in one, give Kunoichi-san here a prize." "How are you, Kunoichi-san?" asked Naruto. "First of all, my name isn't Kunoichi-san, it's Sayuri. Second of all, what the hell are you doing in Konoha? And third of all, I am very well, thank you," Sayuri said with a pout, which made her look infinitely cute in Naruto's opinion. "Alright, Sayuri-chan. I am here in Konoha for the Chunin exams that are taking place in a week's time. Also, is there anything else you would like to ask me about?" asked Naruto. Would you like me to show you around the village? I mean, navigation would be tough for you. We could also grab a bite to eat," Sayuri said with a small, barely noticeable blush adorning her cheeks. "Oh, are asking me out on a date, Sayuri-chan?" Naruto asked, his eyes having a teasing glow. "What, no, I was only offering to show you around as a fellow acquaintance," Sayuri quickly retorted as the blush on her cheeks amplified. Naruto in response merely chuckled at her expense before patting her on the head, making her blush reach atomic levels. He then said, "I was just teasing you, Sayuri-chan. Would you be kind enough to show me to Golden Leaf Hotel, so that I may meet up with my team? And as for your offer to show me around, I will take you up on that on another day." Sayuri nodded with a smile before she turned and walked towards the Golden Leaf. It was a 20-minute walk, after which they arrived at the hotel. Naruto turned to Sayuri and said, "Thank you for bringing me here, Sayuri-chan. Now let me escort you to your home. After all, it isn't safe for a girl like you to travel alone at this hour." "Hey, I am not just a girl, I am an awesome kunoichi," Sayuri said as she pouted once more. Naruto chuckled at her cute expression once again before patting her on the head. He then said, "That's true, but there are drunk shinobi out there who could take advantage of you. Now let's go." She could only dumbly nod as he escorted her back to the Uchiha compound. He then gave her a quick kiss to the cheek before bidding her goodbye and leaving. Sayuri stood there stunned before she brought up her free hand and touched the place she had felt his lips on. She squealed in an un-Uchiha-like manner before running off into the compound. Truth be told, she had a minor crush on Naruto ever since she first saw him. She right now was on cloud 9. However, she didn't have time to enjoy, as there was an upcoming storm that would shake the very bases of their lives. Chapter 10, Catching Up. The next day, council room. The council was in uproar when they learnt that Naruto was back in the village as Kumo ninja. They were also mad about the fact that the Kumo contingent were given one of the largest training grounds in the village and that the training couldn't be spied upon for reasons unknown. "I can't believe why you aren't trying to make him stay here, Minato. He is your son after all," Hisashi, the Hyuga clan head, said. "I have tried, he refuses to talk to me, and I can't force unless I want a full-on war with Kumo. They are just as strong as us and I for one don't want the kids to fight again," Minato said. "I don't see why not, after all they are all just tools for the village to use," Kaharu stated before she was hit by a very strong and potent wave of killing intent. The intent released by Minato made the whole room shake. Everyone in the room was once again reminded of why Minato was given the rank of flea on sight. Let me remind you of the belief that this village was built on counselor. It was made to use the will of fire to defend the village from harm and to make sure that our young children don't have to fight. Dishonor that belief again and I will kill you where you stand. Am I Klee counselor? Asked Minato. Hi Hokage-sama. Kaharu said as she sweated profusely under the immense pressure being exerted by Minato. Danzo then spoke that still doesn't explain why we don't know of the training that the team is doing in that training ground. They may have a seals master with them who set up privacy seals. It's not illegal or wrong, every village is entitled to its secrets. Minato said with a shrug. You are becoming senile Minato, I think you are unfit to run the village. Danzo said with a little seeth. That's interesting Danzo, where were you when Iwa launched that invasion oi, or better where were you when Kyuubi attacked? You talk as if you are the one who defended the village, but in truth you just hid back in your bunker, like the coward you are. You aren't fit to be a leader so back off. Minato condescendingly replied. Danzo seethed as the clan heads and Hiruzen snickered at the old war hawk. The meeting then went off without a hitch after which everyone left. As they did only Minato and Hisashi were left. Not noticing his best friend and teammate's presence Minato gave a very tired sigh and slumped on his seat. You look like shit you know. Asked Hisashi. That's because I feel like shit. My life has been downhill of late, and I can't see what's happening in my personal life. My son hates me and is completely indifferent. Heck, he doesn't even acknowledge us as family. Minato sadly said. I know how you feel Minato, if it's any conciliation, I will be more than willing to talk to him for you. I was rather fond of the boy before he left. Hisashi said. You were. I thought you hated pranking. Minato asked. To his immense surprise Hisashi broke out into a fit of laughter. Minato then brought his hands together and jokingly said the cold and stoic Hisashi Hyuga is laughing. It must be the end of the world. Hisashi didn't mind at all since Minato was a brother to him. Oh come now Minato, you insult me. Who do you think helped him with all the pranks on the Hyuga estate? Wait, you were in on them? Those pranks cost me weeks of paperwork. Minato shouted. Yes I know. The kid came to me asking on how to get to you for ignoring his 5th birthday. On my side the council was being a headache. So I told him to prank the Hyuga elders. In fact I left the gate open for him to operate. In the end the elders were put in their place, I got a good laugh out of it, and he got back at you through paperwork. Hisashi said. You know I hate you right? Minato grumbled. Now we both know where an oblivious old fool would be without me and Hisashi. Anyways I'll try and talk with Naruto soon, you should come by for a game of poker. Hisashi said as he walked out the door. Minato could only dumbly nod as he saw his best friend leave the room. With that he flashed back to his home. At his home he found his wife cooking, while his daughter was practicing with her kunai back in the ground. He tiredly plopped down on the sofa. Rough day honey? Asked Kushina. Define rough. He tiredly replied. Kushina sadly looked at Minato. She knew he completely blamed himself for Naruto's departure, and looking at their son's current indifference, she knew it was eating him up immensely on the inside. There honey, he will eventually come around. All we need to do is to wait for him just like he waited for us. Kushina soothingly said as she rubbed his shoulders. I know, but that doesn't make it hurt less. I have wronged my family. I made him feel like an orphan, even though I know how horrible that feeling is. I want to make it up to him, but he is so far off that I can't even see him anymore. Minato sadly replied. Kushina didn't reply and opted her husband's shoulders, helping him to relax. Yui sighed sadly as she heard all that. She missed playing with her brother. Even when they were young, he used to cheer her up when she had a bad training session, or if someone made fun of her red hair. She just wanted her brother back. Maybe she would ask his girlfriend for help. For now she needed the hot springs. Elsewhere, training ground 43. Alright everyone, that is enough for today. Since the exam is tomorrow, I want all of you to go around and relax, so that you are in prime form tomorrow. Also Naruto the Raikage said you can't use your black lightning. Darui stated as he addressed the genin in front of him. Alright sensei. The genin chorused as they all except Naruto left. Looking at Naruto, Darui said, "What's wrong, Naruto?" Naruto, who had his hands crossed, flared his chakra and entered his black lightning form and said, "I am not tired, sensei, let's spar." Naruto finished as he charged himself at the Jonins, hence beginning the spar. The remaining guys decided to go back to their hotel room to rest up, while the girls decided to go and relax at the local hot springs, and made their way there. Inside that hot spring, Samuel, Yujido, Haku and Mai found Sayuri and Yui already in there. They quietly entered and sat down in the water, giving sighs of relaxation. "That hits the spot," Haku moaned blissfully. "I agree," Yujido moaned out. "Nothing better than a soak after sparring with Naruto-kun," Mai moaned. "It's cool," Samuel said stoically, once again showing of her control over her emotions. Sayuri looked at them before scooting over and introducing herself. "Hi, my name is Sayuri Uchiha, what's yours?" she said a little shyly. After her first run-in with Naruto in the wave, she had been rethinking her life and had become rather humble and quiet. "Ni Yujido. These are Samuel, Haku and Mai," Yujido said with a grin. Everyone enthusiastically started talking about random stuff. That was when Yui said, "Ano, can you tell me more about Naruto?" "Why do you want to know, Namikaze?" Yujido asked. I, Yui started. "You what?" growled Haku. Just, Yui tried to say. "Just what, take him and ignore him again?" Mai sternly interjected. "I just want my brother, damn it. He was everything to me when we were kids. Always looking out for me. Cheering me up at my failures or when I was sad. I hate myself, it was because of me that Kaa-and-san ignored and pushed him away." Yui shouted out in frustration and sadness as she let a few tears escape her eyes. Yujido looked at her incredulously and found herself looking for lies in the eyes of the redhead, but was unable to find anything. "You know, kitten, I think she is telling the truth, we should help her. Your mate may get back his sister." "How should we do it, Nibi?" Yujido asked her tenant. "I don't know, kitten, you should first get her to stop crying. I will try to get Kyubi to loosen up as well. Now go," Nibi said. Nodding mentally, she scooted over to the sobbing redhead and patted her back as she said, there. "I can tell you genuinely miss Naruto-kun. We will talk to him about you and you alone. Now stop crying." "You guys really mean it?" asked Yui. At seeing all of them nod, she jumped and happily exclaimed, "Yato, we are going to be the best of friends." She then jumped on the 4 Kumo kunoichis and hugged them all. "Alright then, let's all go to Naruto right now and have him talk to you. I am sure he will come around," Mai said with a clap of her hand as the kunoichis all left at once, dragging each other along the way. On the way to the hotel, they spotted a beaten, bruised and bleeding Naruto walking towards the hotel. The girls gasped when they saw his beaten state and rushed to him. "Kami, Naruto-kun, what happened to you?" asked Yujido as Mai, Haku and Sayuri all began to check the full extent of his injuries. "I am fine, just went a little too far in training. Getting hit by 100 Rai-bunshin does its damage to you. And I didn't know you'd be worried, Sayuri-chan," Naruto explained before finishing his talk with a teasingly long suffix. Said Uchiha sputtered out refusals, which continued until she bonked Naruto on the head and said, "Baka, I am worried about you, could you please not make fun of me right now?" Naruto chuckled good-naturedly before patting the girl's head, causing the said Uchiha to blush red. Naruto then rose his eyebrow when he saw the fidgeting redhead. He quizzically looked at his fiancées and saw that they were giving him the "we'll talk later" look. Naruto then sighed and wiped a little blood from his cheek before saying, "I am going to get a shower and then change. We can talk after that. The park would be a good place. I doubt that the locals will find it comforting that the Hokage's daughter in a hotel that is predominantly filled with Kumo ninja." The girls nodded before heading off to the park. Yui for her part was fidgeting as she waited for her brother to come and talk to her. Naruto arrived some 20 minutes later, this time much cleaner and healthier looking than his beaten condition from a few minutes ago. As he arrived, Yujido walked up to him and whispered, "Listen to her, she is telling the truth." Naruto nodded before kissing her on the cheek and moving to the bench where Yui was sitting. Sitting down beside her, he saw that his usual loud mouth of a sister was awfully quiet and was fidgeting. Sighing, he decided to forgive her. Her body language was more than enough evidence that she wanted him back. Also, in all of his conscience, he couldn't blame her. She had her mother's brain, and he knew she couldn't think complicated things. Also, he realized it would be foolish to push her away since his neglection wasn't her fault, rather it was his parents' decision. So he decided to ease her up a little bit and said, "It's been a long while, hasn't it, Imoto-chan? How have you been doing? I hope no one made fun of you while I was away." Hearing him speak, she launched herself at with a cry of Nissan. She sobbed into his chest as he tenderly rubbed her back. There, Yui, your brother is here. Even if there is no going back to Hokage Dono, I am still your brother. Never forget that. Now tell me about your life, then I will tell you mine." Yui then nodded as both brother and sister began catching up to their lives, telling them of all the friends they had made and of all the small day-to-day things. Needless to say, by the time they returned to their estates, they were both significantly happier. That's it for this part. If you enjoyed it, then like, share and subscribe for the next video, as it's going to be more interesting, and also check out the other playlist. Hope you would like them too.